everybody, welcome to Squad, your favorite place for all things esports and gaming. I'm AJ Fry. We got Lisa, we got... Well, weren't you guys sitting in different places a second ago?
Shocker!
You flipped it up on me. We got Camille, we got Lisa, and we got Matt. We're on the couch.
That's too good.
Well, let's talk about how AJ doesn't know who is.
I can be Camille.
You guys moved around. You were sitting next to me for a while.
It's okay, we'll let it go, All right, let's start things off with talking about the Fortnite World Cup. That prize pool was ginormous.
A little big.
A little big.
The biggest.
But I have a question, okay? Do you think someone coming in 100th place, even if they don't get an elimination, should make $50,000 US?
I mean, technically they survived elimination, right? It's not like they just show up and these people were invited or whatever. They had to qualify through a long process of actually getting into the event to actually be eligible for that money. So it's not like, I know it's weird that there's an event and everyone wins something, but they earn their spot.
Yeah, last place usually gets an amount of money. It's just in this case, it's a lot.
Big amount.
That's a lot. Like, I feel like, you know, with these tournaments, it's all about the prize pool and how much you win, coming in like top 10 maybe. But it kind of loses its luster.
And
it's
no,
like
it doesn't.
50,000.
Okay, you say what you gotta say, but
Well, Fortnite is so much money anyway. Who cares if the last place guy gets $50,000?
is chump change.
Epic is like, oh, $50,000. I can't. There's so many cash registers just full of money that's just spilling out everywhere. How much are you complaining about $50,000? Who cares if one player?
I care. I am not making that $50,000.
There's the
go
issue.
play Fortnite. Go play Fortnite and qualify. You
Maybe
know,
I'm a bit bitter about it.
there are a lot of people who are salty about it.
Yeah,
online.
it's a lot. Especially
Why would you care what the least amount, like the player who earns the least
Because that's
makes? Complain about the fact that the game is just, you know, grossing so much money. They should be giving more away.
But should they be giving more to
popular.
the communities and not just like
Absolutely.
these big events? Like, I feel like the prize pool was so ginormous that it didn't need to be that big. Like,
But
these
how-
players
like,
are making a salary.
We're talking
most
about
of them,
it.
right?
You have those huge prize pools. That is an instigator for main network and huge, you know, media outlets to talk about.
Yeah.
Is everyone concerned about the amount of money that we're spending in the esports scene? This is bananas. Even the guy who made the least made $50,000. There's so much money in this thing. We got to fix this because, you know, there's starving people everywhere. Like, it's a good way to generate interest and excitement.
Meanwhile,
around
basketball players make $30 million a year.
Exactly.
That's true.
So really, where's the issue?
That's true.
It's true.
I guess it's just, I want money.
Yeah. we all do. But you know what? Look, talking about it and being like salty about it isn't gonna make us more money. You just go get good at Fortnite, okay?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm not gonna be salty about it because I'm just gonna take it out on AJ later in Unmuted.
Plus, we have our third review of Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I'll give you the news and report it.
But first, let's kick things off by breaking down Week 8 of the LCS Summer Split on Inside Esports.
Once again getting himself caught out. He was the guy who was keeping Team Liquid in this game, but now he's the guy who's putting him in the wrong spot until Meteos is overextended. The stop once again will turn the tide of the fight.
100 Thieves will knock them down. They'll claim the turrets, they'll claim the Nexus, and they are close to playoff position.
Welcome everyone to Inside Esports. I'm Matt Hempstead, and this past weekend was Week 8 of the LCS. Playoffs are approaching quickly, and every game matters. So before we call up MadMagical to talk about the fallout of Week 8, let's take a look at some highlights.
Impact trying to find some damage there. Dopa going in, looking to start the fight off onto the Team Liquid big boy, and they've got him already. Jensen did some trouble and Xmithy's already dead, and that was one hell of a trigger pull. Impact once again getting himself caught out. He was the guy who was keeping Team Liquid in this game, but now he's the guy who's putting him in the wrong spot until Meteos is overextended. The stop once again will turn the tide of the fight. Arrow is down. The Nexus turrets are falling. Dopa goes next. And Impact says revive. I don't need no revive. Team Liquid, take down Optic Gaming.
And oh, fake God, you gotta be careful. Flashes in, finds the play, but not yet the kill. Ryu finally answers, and it's Broken Blade, a double kill for Corki. It's a trade of ult, that's pretty good for fake God. Gets some decent damage across, kind of another stun pretty soon right here. Broken Blade gets the heal, does not find the knockup though. They find all the stuns. Here comes the rest of the squad though, as TP's gonna be under the turret. Look at the timing. Bjergsen's on TF under the turret, and he will die. They're gonna go for the play right now. Explosive cast, only separates the team. Fake God gets pulled in, pops a stopwatch, but it's Bjergsen just dropping, immediately dead. 5v4, the chase down continues. Amazing wants to find a slow. They're gonna get the kill on the Smoothie. 100 Thieves will knock them down. They'll claim the turrets, they'll claim the Nexus, and they are close to playoff position.
Mid lane with Sven hovering just off on the right. This will be the first counter Xmidi could participate in. Is it going to be fast enough? And he doesn't really hit the flag and drag. Here comes the final chapter across the team with TL, and they're going to look to trade this one back. Very low health bars as they get themselves back into the fight. Now it's going to be Sven Scaradone down first. Double It picks himself up, another kill as they lose impact. A 1-for-1 as they continue to trade. The prowling projectile keeps them in range, and that's the double kill. 20 seconds left on the slicing maelstrom from Kennen. Xmidi goes in. It's a go for broke moment for TL. Double It's trying to get himself in the back line. TL could clinch first with this victory, but C9 says not today. Core JJ Gray health, and his health says bye-bye. C9 takes down Team Liquid.
To help us recap the second last week of the LCS Summer Split regular season, I'd like to welcome MadMagical to the show. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Matt?
Not too bad. I mean, there's a lot to talk about because, you know, the playoffs are coming quick, and Cloud9 specifically had a very interesting Week 8. They took down Team Liquid in their second game of the week. You know, their 6-game winning streak started with a loss to C9 and then ends the exact same way. So what makes Cloud9 such a good matchup against Team Liquid?
So when I look at how Team Liquid like to play, they like to play a little bit more slow. They try to get things more like Azir. You look at how they lost into Cloud9. They had the Sona Tom Kench bot lane, something that wants to scale more into the game. That doesn't do well into Cloud9. Cloud9 are a very explosive team. They want to be able to try to get advantages early on. They always try to be proactive around someone like Svenskeren or even Blabber, where they can then impact their side lane so they can get bot lane ahead, whether it's sneaky or deathly, or go top lane into Licorice or Kumo. They always play that style, and for Team Liquid, because they want to be able to scale up, they never get that chance. They never can hit the late game when they are going to be able to just win out purely based off their macro.
Now, you mentioned a bunch of substitutes there as well, and I mean, against FlyQuest, we saw another guy who hasn't played for Cloud9 yet, definitely coming into place, replace Sneaky. And Sneaky's been under a lot of criticism in the past, especially this split for like some of his laning performances, some not so great numbers. So is this the time, do you think, to be playing with a sub when they're still fighting for a first-round bye against CLG? Because it cost them a win against FlyQuest.
I don't know if I'd go as far as say it cost them, because for Cloud9, how they really have always been wanting to play since franchising has been around a 10-man roster. This is just how I see it, where they've constantly been wanting to bring in these subs. They want to be able to rely on new strategies that come with having someone different, such as Deathly. So for me, I don't look at it as I'm going like, oh, this is just an experimental thing going into the final stretches of the season. They truly have faith in how Deathly can perform, and they also have faith in Sneaky. They know Sneaky very well and how he is a very clutch AD carry, especially when it comes to these high-pressure games like you have when they faced off against Team Liquid.
So, I mean, they just got Deathly very recently in that trade with the Golden Guardians. So do you think it was too soon for them to actually put him into the lineup, or are they just really trying to test it if it can work with a 10-man? Or is there more going on with potentially, you know, Sneaky underperforming, so they're just trying to see if Deathly can be plug and played right now and then?
I feel like it was a little bit too early. They wanted to be able to have the strategy, and they felt like going up against FlyQuest was the best team to try that out against, since FlyQuest at this point has already been eliminated from playoffs, so they thought in their minds this is the best opportunity that we're going to have.
Right.
But maybe they needed to wait a little bit longer. They needed to be able to test the waters more in Academy or in scrims themselves to be able to find out whether or not this is going to work for that 10-man roster. I don't feel like this is, oh, Sneaky underperforming, we have to get him out. I feel like it's much more of that them just thinking that it's working in scrims after a couple of results instead of going for the longer stretch of it and saying, we need more results. We need to see how things are continuing with Deathly.
Right. On the other side of that trade, the Golden Guardians are looking pretty solid. I mean, they just went 2-0, but before that, they had lost 3 of their last 4. So as of right now, how dangerous do you think this team is now? They look pretty comfortable with FBI and Huhi down in that bot lane.
Golden Guardians are a team that I have been looking at for a while as always this team that's going to make the playoffs. They were this perfect number 4 seed going into spring. I felt like slotted perfectly after Cloud9, Team Liquid, and TSM. Now it's a little bit more of a shakeup. I feel like Golden Guardians are finally starting to hit their stride, especially because I mentioned before how Team Liquid like to play a later stretch of the game. Most of North America like to play that. Only Cloud9 are really that exception. Golden Guardians just fits perfectly for with how Froggen has historically liked to play. He loves to play things like Karthus that we saw really recently. Vel'Koz has been one of his go-tos. And Nivea, of course, is something that he'll always be able to fall back onto. So FBI and Huhi have slotted into there where Huhi has this experience from a mid lane perspective on what Froggen's going to need and can facilitate that from the supportive role. And FBI I've been just impressed with. He's been doing an amazing job after slotting in after Deathly.
I think some of the biggest thing that was kind of surprising to me is TSM is pretty slumping pretty hard right now. I mean, yes, they beat Echo Fox, but then they got completely rolled by 100 Thieves in the following game. So why do you think we're seeing such a wide array of results from TSM, especially as we come to a close of the summer split?
I mean, when we look at how TSM was, they have Grig and they have Acadian. They were trying to play both junglers for a while. They really wanted to be able to swap them back and forth, but now they've made the hard commitment. Let's go with Acadian and see how he's going to be able to do. But Acadian is much more of a carry type jungler. Right. He hasn't been really as proficient on the tanks. You look at his stats and how he's been performing this split, has been all right. He's been playing a lot of Sejuani, which is something that he was going to in the past anyways. But when he had his big standout moments, it was always on things like Rek'Sai, where he was making a name. The Gragas, which he's gotten to play a couple more times here, have been looking nice, but he needs to be able to get back onto those roles, and I feel like that has been why they've been having their issues, is Acadian hasn't been as comfortable in that jungling spot, and since he's a newer jungler, someone still learning a lot from veterans such as Svenskeren, he's not going to be able to transition well from carry to tank.
Right. I mean, he also went up against Amazing, who has quite a bit of veteran experience behind him. And for 100 Thieves, you know, they completely stomped TSM, and now they're only one game back from a playoff spot after their absolutely horrendous start. So how has 100 Thieves been able to come together so smoothly, even though this isn't even the roster that started the split? I mean, they've only been together for a few weeks now.
It's really interesting to look at 100 Thieves with how they've been able to come back into the split, and a lot of that has to do with how Bang has been performing in the bot lane. He has been an absolute monster as an AD carry, where he has been putting everyone to shame, including the likes of Doublelift on his performances, and this is pretty much Bang activated. He is looking great. Ryu in the mid lane is a consistent rock for the team, where he's able to roam and try to see if they can get some impact going in the side lanes. And you mentioned Amazing as well, having a good amount of veteran experience as well, being able to control the jungle, so that way they can eventually have Bang be the one who's carrying them into the later stages of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Bang and Afro look amazing in the bot lane, and it's starting to look like a win lane, win game thing for 100 Thieves. And as I said, they're only one game back of Optic and Golden Guardians. So do you think they have what it takes to sneak into the playoffs? They're going up against Clutch and CLG next week, which is, you know, a hit and miss schedule for them.
For me, I don't even feel like it's sneaking into the playoffs for them. I feel like they deserve to be in the playoffs at this rate with how they've been performing. They've been doing such a great job, while the likes of Optic have been all right. They've been that hit or miss team where it almost feels like they're about to barely sneak into playoffs themselves, even though they've been the ones holding on for the longest amount of time, while you have a team like TSM that I'm more looking out for than any, with how they might fall apart and they might not make it into playoffs. Sure, they have a pretty easy schedule going into the final week against FlyQuest, but the final game against Team Liquid could mean that if they have a fluke situation like Cloud9 did, where they lost to FlyQuest, there's a good likelihood we see a playoff without TSM.
That would be a lot of salty TSM fans, which honestly I'm okay with. I'm not sure what your take on the TSM fans is.
Well, Cloud9 person here, so.
There you go. Well, then we're both kind of rooting for TSM to maybe sneak out of that playoff spot. MadMagical, thanks so much for joining us to break down Week 8, man. Enjoy the rest of the split, and hopefully talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
Now that we're all caught up with League of Legends, let's get caught up with everything else in the world of esports with Camille and Reported.
Welcome to the news, and in case you haven't heard, the Fortnite World Cup was finally held this past weekend, and one talented player just walked home $3 million richer. When the smoke cleared on the final match of the Fortnite World Cup solo tournament, 16-year-old Abuga was crowned the champion. The Sentinels player dominated the solo finals, earning 59 points across the 6 games, which is 26 more points than runner-up Psalm. Buga's extremely aggressive style of play allowed him to win the first match, and he never lost his lead for the remainder of the finals. Buga deservedly earned his $3 million, but don't feel too bad for his competitors. The bottom 80 players still earned $50,000 each, even if they didn't get a single elimination. As great as Buga's win was, it wasn't the biggest thing to happen at the World Cup. That's because Epic ever so briefly teased the future of Fortnite esports. During a lull in action at the World Cup, Epic Games announced the Fortnite Championship Series. Set to begin when the next season starts, which is rumored to be August 1st, the Championship Series will ensure that Fortnite esports is year-long instead of the one-off events it currently is. Epic hasn't shared specific details on how it will be organized, but promised millions of dollars would be on the line. It represents a big shift in Epic's Fortnite strategy and is one of the first moves made since the company recruited former Overwatch League Commissioner Nate Nanzer. We'll have more details to share with you when they become available. Last week, Nintendo released Fire Emblem Three Houses to the joy of fans everywhere. However, the publishers will be making a big change to the game following disturbing allegations about one of its voice actors. Nintendo is planning to replace voice actor Chris Neo-C from Three Houses after multiple allegations of abuse from former friends and girlfriends. Neo-C voiced the male version of Blythe, who is the main character of the game. The allegations accused Neo-C of sexual harassment and abuse and were brought to light over the last week. Neo-C admitted on his personal Tumblr that he treated people in his life horribly and he abused friends, apologizing for his actions. Nintendo said in a statement that it is re-recording Blythe's lines with a new actor and that the voiceovers will be added in a future patch. That's all for the news today, and now let's head over to Unmuted to see what kind of spice AJ and Lisa will bring to their debates.
What's up, nerds? It's time for Unmuted. We got your gaming and esports hot topics, hot tweets, and the spiciest memes. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Let's run it down for anyone who's new here. We're going to present a bunch of goodies that we've gathered, which we'll discuss, argue, yell at one another, insult each other. But lucky for us, there's also this mute button right here, which we can each press once to shut the other up.
That's right. Remember, we like it when you call us out when we're wrong and praise us when we're spitting truth. So let's get right to it. So for our first story, let's dive into the Fortnite World Cup and see what the audience thinks of cheaters. During the duos tournament at the World Cup, notorious cheater Exif and his partner Ronaldo were heavily booed the moment they appeared on camera. As a refresher, the duo were banned for 2 weeks by Epic Games after they were caught cheating. The boos were loud, but louder still was the cheers that shook the arena when they were eliminated. Exif took to Twitter to thank his supporters and reaffirmed that he's going to keep getting better. Ooh, AJ, spicy. Do you think that reaction was justified?
Yeah.
Really?
Why are they letting people who cheated into a tournament? Period. Why weren't they banned for life? I don't understand this.
Okay, but I think...
you just cheated in the game once? That's okay. You can keep playing, and we're going to invite you to our tournament?
Well, they didn't invite... He qualified.
What supporters is he talking about?
He legitly... He qualified. He played in the qualifiers. They served the 2-week ban, so he served his time, and then they qualified for it. It's not like they invited him without merit, okay? So he did earn his place there.
Yeah,
they earned their place there.
You can say, oh yeah, you qualified legitimately. We still don't want you to be in our community because you're a cheater.
Really? You think they should be more strict with cheaters like that? No.
Absolutely, especially
chance.
if you're like a public face and you can put an identity to someone. This is the other part that gets me. He thanked his supporters. Who's out there still supporting a cheater?
Well, they got signed to a team, so there's that. Like a team actually picked them up.
How is this happening?
I don't know. I don't know if Fortnite's because it's a new esport, so that cheating is just, part of the beginning of it. But they were accused of farming kills. I'm not even sure if the proof was 100%. You know what I mean? It was speculated, but they didn't necessarily could prove it. So they served 2 weeks.
Hold on a second.
It was really gray zone. So
was the cheating more like cheating within the confines of the game, or were they using like hacks?
No, it wasn't hacks, but they were being accused of farming kills, which is basically planting people so that they can kill them so that their stats are better. Do you know what I mean? But it's so like hearsay. You can't really prove necessarily. There's no like paper trail, right? There's no like cash trail. So it was like just bad rep. And to be fair, he was suspected recently again at a recent tournament for doing the same thing, but there was no proof for that either. So it's like just a lot of bad press, no 100% proof, but you know what? I kind of feel bad. Like, he served the time.
Yeah.
I want to give space for people to improve. Like, people make mistakes, right? So there should be room for people to improve.
I agree, but when it's cheating in the video game.
You know what's annoying about this, though? Is like, yeah, so there's a lot of cheating allegations against this guy, but he qualified, and now just for qualifying, he like leaves with $1 million. Just for competing at the World Cup, you literally, even if you're like 50th place,
Gotta move on before I have an aneurysm.
you get like $100,000.
Just over a couple of weeks ago now, Twitch streamer Alinity came under fire after a video emerged showing her throwing her cat over her head and spitting vodka into its mouth. So many people complained, both to Twitch and elsewhere, that Alinity's local Animal Cruelty Prevention Society looked into it. Their ruling that she was not malicious and that she was remorseful. To say people are upset would be a bit of an understatement, and many people are calling for Twitch to permanently ban her. Lisa, do you think Twitch should have banned Alinity?
Okay, controversial stance. I think Twitch was right in not banning her. The only reason, obviously I'm not saying what she did was right, however, I looked up the community guidelines and there is nothing about animal cruelty in there. So based on their own rulings, technically they can't.
Hold on a second. Hold on. This is one of those things you often see this meme on the internet about morality. Legality does not equate morality. I was kind of with you until you said, oh, because there's nothing in the rules against animal cruelty, then yeah, they shouldn't ban her. Well, so what? You could add animal cruelty into it and institute a ban for animal cruelty as well. The question really is whether this was animal cruelty, and I think maybe we both agree that this isn't animal cruelty necessarily. She's definitely doing some things with the animal that she shouldn't have done, but I don't know if I would say
was the kiss consensual? Did it want vodka? You're right. It's not. It's
borderline cruelty for sure. There's like, you know.
Well, the cruelty. The board that looked into her said that her pets are fine. Okay, yeah. They looked into it before I got cut off rudely. First of all, my point is, I don't think it's fair for Twitch to just make up rules in response. Like they should.
But that's how you generate your rule set.
Next time they set a precedent. Now they're like, you know what? Looking into this, you're right. Like we don't want to be a brand where people can be cruel to their animals like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, put that rule in and then enact it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
The fact that like it wasn't a rule. If she knew maybe it was a rule, she wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? Like it's unfair to then punish her for a rule that didn't exist at the time. But now they totally should put a rule in and enforce it afterwards. That's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
Okay.
And the throwing the cat over head, I saw that clip. I don't, you know, you can throw cats from a fairly high distance. They land on their feet. It's scientific. Like they have a great.
You didn't see if it landed on their feet. What if it has a weak ankle?
I suppose.
You don't know, AJ.
Like people
you
play with their dogs and throw them from like, you know.
AJ, stop before you get us in trouble. Okay, let's move on.
It's not malicious.
On Friday, stop it. On Friday, Bethesda surprisingly revealed the first 3 Doom games to consoles. I should mention that Doom came out in 1993, a great year. I was born then. Which is important for the following reason: you have to log into a Bethesda account in order to gain access to everything from all 3 of these games. None of these games have an online component, yet in the case of Doom 3, you need to sign in every time to play. Okay, so what do you think about the fact, there's like little parts here. One, the fact that they made the login mandatory. Though to be fair, Bethesda did go back and say, you know what, that was our mistake. We're gonna fix that part.
Oh, good.
That part they fixed. But the whole signing on for a game that's not even online, like what's the point of that?
It does seem a little bit weird, but we're existing in this odd space right now where so many of these retro games are kind of becoming popular again, and people want to go back and relive their nostalgia. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be kind of fun to get together with my buddies and play some of these games that we used to play at LAN parties so long ago, although by the time I was actually doing LAN parties, Quake was the game, not Doom. So Quake was 97, not 93. 98.
Okay.
I'm just dating myself here.
Yeah,
Why does this always happen opposite you,
because your
Lisa?
stories all come
You're the young
from
one,
a
and
really
I'm the old
old
one.
Yeah. It's a good
yeah,
dynamic.
but like, why do they need to put the locking it in with the digital, sign-in thing?
Yeah.
It just seems totally counterproductive for
It's
people who
almost
just
so
want to enjoy
obvious
these games.
that they're trying to fish for information from you. Like they just want you in their database. They want you in for their marketing emails. I don't know.
Yeah, they just want all your information of what you're up to all the time, that
Ads.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Like how else are they gonna make money, guys? This is really the point here. They gotta make
you're
money,
not really
right?
gonna get your ad pop-ups during Doom, but they do this with so many games that have these unnecessary online components, like SimCity a couple of years back, where they put that out and were like, yeah, you need to be online in order to play this, and everyone was upset because SimCity is a perfect game of not
Being
needing
online?
an online game. It's a single solitary experience of just managing your city. So
Unless, maybe, conspiracy theory, they're planning some online components soon, and this is just,
to add to Doom from 1993.
You don't know. You don't know.
I'd be excited about
That's
that.
how they
I
make
guess.
money. Games, I feel like, you want to be successful, have a lot of players on it, you got to make it online, you got to make it accessible to the whole world.
Yeah.
I'm onto you.
Let's see the Doom World Championships where
It can't be doomed,
they
right?
allow
This
cheaters
idea.
in next year. Let's see.
Oh
All right.
my God.
Our last story is all about battle passes. Specifically, how often should they be updated? In the case of Dota Plus, Valve's subscription service for Dota 2, it's been a very long time. Despite multiple patches changing how heroes work, the quests and rewards remain unchanged, making it very difficult to complete certain challenges. People have even canceled their subscriptions because of the lack of updates. Lisa, how often should a battle pass be updated to be useful? Do you think most battle passes are good or are most bad, like Dota Plus?
I mean, I have to be full transparency. I don't own a battle pass for any game because I'm really cheap, so I don't spend money on these things.
I'm the same, Lisa.
Really?
It's going to be a bit of a difficult conversation. Here's the thing.
I'm surprised with you. I thought you would. You seem like a battle pass kind of guy.
No, I don't see the appeals. Apex, PUBG, I don't care. It's all about cosmetic stuff that doesn't improve your gameplay, and I don't care what I look like in a game.
Whoa! Okay, I don't know if that's true, because people always say you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Well, I mean,
right?
I make my selection of what skin or which cosmetic items from the base amount, but like in PUBG, there's a set of black clothes, and I just go like, yeah, all those, just make me, harder to see in shadowed areas.
Oh my God.
I don't care about being fancy dancy, and in Overwatch, I just accumulate a lot of points and spend those on what I want to wear.
Yeah.
I don't care about this battle pass
But what about the leveling up aspect of it? If you're not caring about
It
cosmetics,
doesn't affect your in-game play, and that would be unfair. That would be giving advantage to anyone who's got the money to spend on the thing. So as far as I know, most battle passes when it comes to games are all about just, here's a bunch of cool cosmetic stuff that you can unlock so you can, seem really cool to your friends, guy. I don't care.
cool, bro.
I think being cool to your friends is saying like, I don't care. You guys like me for me, not what I wear and wear in the game.
Oh wow, that just got really inspirational. Okay, we may not be Battle Pass fans. However, for those who are into it, I think it makes sense for Battle Passes to be updated every time a patch comes out. I know that's often enough, but it makes sense because if the meta's changing, characters are changing, why would you not match your Battle Pass with that? It just logically
patches can be with some games every 2 weeks. Some games even every 1 week they release a patch. So I don't know if you want to have a new Battle Pass every 1 week. You have your weekly challenges and stuff in games.
But you want people to play the game, and Battle Pass is supposed to do that. But if there's no point of it, then what's the point? Like if you're not updating it to get people to, I said point a lot, but you know what I mean, right?
I think I got your point though.
Okay. You guys let us know in chat what you think. All right, because it's time to move on to Clip It. Our first clip comes from Blazing Oak Gaming and his complete lack of computer knowledge.
Reduce what? Oh, take slow off? Yeah, I can take followers only off. What's the command for that? Damn it. Anyone knows the command to take off followers only? Let me know. I don't know all my commands yet. How do I do that, cargo shorts? It's mellowed down quite a bit. Alt 4F. I'll try it. All right, Alt F4.
Got him! Okay.
It's one of my favorite tricks to play on people in game. I've never seen it happen to a streamer before though.
You play that trick on people?
Well, if anyone ever asks what the command is, Alt F4 is the de facto response.
Really?
Yeah, because if you don't know what Alt F4 does, you have no business being in a computer game. Like, that's
I feel
just
bad, though.
the de facto.
I honestly can't fault him. I'm like similar to him. Like, I'm actually so technologically challenged that I actually feel for him there.
But
like, he was
would
so
you fall
innocent.
for Alt F4 now?
No, okay, no. From a random on the internet, I wouldn't fall for it, but I would be like, how do you do this? How do you do that? You know what I mean? I wouldn't do anything people on the internet tell me, because that's just, you know, dangerous. You know what I mean? So I have that street smart going for me.
Right.
This man, though.
Yeah, viewers, when you ask, how do I do that command? Alt F4. Yeah, that's
Oh, I feel
Control
bad for
Q.
him. Well, he learned the lesson the hard way. You know, he learned the lesson the hard way.
Yes.
Now he knows.
All right.
Do that.
Well, our next clip comes from Ali Moran, who decided to interview some of her subs, including, oh boy, I love this name, XX420 Lettuce 6969 XXX. He had an unexpected cameo during his big moment in the spotlight.
Because I used Monopoly money to get the McDonald's, which was the joke. But the McDonald's employee didn't figure it out. So when I used the Monopoly money to get the McDonald's.
Bullshit story.
Dad, I'm being interviewed. Hey! McDonald's. I use my Monopoly. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? My mic on? Hold on. What's up? Mom, I'm on the internet. I'm on the internet, Mom.
I can't wait till you move out.
Come on! I'm on the internet. Please.
Where's wrong with you?
I'm just hanging out. I'm on the internet.
No, I mean, there is just something seriously wrong with you.
Come on.
He needs mental help.
I'm on the internet.
Oh my God, there's so much to dig into that clip.
It's almost so good that it seems almost planned.
Really? Why are you
don't
so
know.
cynical? Why are you so cynical? Why can't we have nice things? Why can't we just believe that was real? That was pure
If
entertainment.
it is real, then his parents' sentiments were real, and then what is this guy's real problem? Like, I don't know, was he
AJ,
smart enough to coordinate with his folks? Like, it would be funny if you cameoed in my video and started, like, calling me out while I'm being interviewed by this big streamer.
What do you mean? It's just so crazy for you to believe that parents are really cruel to their kids and say things like that all the time. My mom criticizes me all the time. It's a real thing. Really, AJ?
Yeah, my parents were fairly supportive for the most part.
Oh
You know,
my
we got our differences, but
God.
I don't know. You got to make sure that your parents don't interrupt you when you're streaming.
Honestly, a little criticism is good for you. I think my parents really raised me strong to handle criticism. So that clip was gold. I think it was real. But the fact I'm on the internet, that line actually sounds a little fake.
Was she laughing at him or with him?
It doesn't matter. Both.
Both.
Probably both. All right, time to move on because it's the best time of the day when we troll through the Twitterverse to bring you all the things pros bless us from their timeline. The first post comes from League of Legends player Amazing, who shared a way for you to level up your fanciness. He said, if you drink sparkling water, you automatically become 50% more sophisticated. Okay.
I do enjoy some sparkling water. We call it fuzzy water around my house.
Fuzzy water.
Make me some fuzzy
Not so
water, my wife
sophisticated.
says, and I oblige.
Are you actually you like sparkling water?
Sure, and you know what we also do?
Oh, no.
My wife's amazing. She's made some syrups. So you put in a little bit of homemade syrup with your sparkling water. She made strawberry basil and peach. Oh God, what's the other like spice you put in the peach one? Rosemary, maybe? I don't know.
You don't pay
They're
attention
tasty, whatever they are.
That sounds amazing. You guys should be
Yeah.
selling this in jars.
Actually, all right. Well, see you later. I got new business.
Wait, no,
to get
wait.
started.
No,
Yeah, it's a good idea, though.
No, I actually hate sparkling water. I remember
No,
in
you
Europe.
just flavor it,
No, well, then that's just soda, guys. It's not
It is.
sparkling water. That's
Yeah, it's
different.
Italian soda.
When you go to
It's super
Europe,
tasty.
they always give you sparkling water, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, can I just get the tap stuff? And they look at me weird. It's like, no, you're weird, okay?
The fizz makes everything better. Moving on, Fortnite pro Snood took to Twitter to share something that got him very excited. You know you've made it when you do this. Guys, I signed 3 very handsome ladies' foreheads. Yes!
Wow.
Have you met Snood?
I have.
How'd that go?
Yeah, he signed my. No, it was my forehead he signed.
Really?
No. Though I am very handsome.
Yeah.
No, Snood's amazing. He's a really sweet guy. He's so young. You know, he's like
Most
16.
of these pro players
Fortnite
are.
pros are very young.
Yeah.
That's really cute that he took to Twitter to
I think I've ever
express
signed
that.
a forehead.
No?
No.
What was the weirdest place you've signed, if any? that you can talk about?
I think I probably signed someone's butt once. I feel
What
like.
do you think? How do you like
It wasn't
not
like
remember?
bare butt. It was like someone's pants. I feel
Is
like
that not
maybe.
worse?
Well, you know, it's like this isn't really gonna show up to anyone, but he's like, now I can tell the story of the time that AJ signed my butt.
But it wasn't
like,
his butt,
whatever,
it was
man.
If he actually pulled his
I don't
pants
know
down,
if
would
I
you
would
have
have
done
done a
it?
bare butt. No.
No?
No.
Okay, I guess you have standards.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Well, I guess. Well, there goes that opportunity. I was gonna, you know.
What?
No, I'm kidding. All right, it's time for our last profound thought. And in this one, we're seeing two worlds collide. Overwatch player XQC took to Twitter to shout out your friendly neighborhood tech engineer. XQC said, "Hey Elon Musk, my community and I would love to learn about rockets and live stream a tour at SpaceX. It would be amazing. Maybe some Overwatch duos after?" I like how he slipped in that last part there,
Right.
casually. What
Does
do you
Elon
think of
Musk
this
play
plan?
Overwatch? I just wonder what could go wrong if you let XQC into.
SpaceX?
Yeah. I mean, he'd probably be well
Toxic
behaved.
levels may go up.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
Nuclear warning. I don't know. That's probably what's going to happen. Is there a celebrity that you would want to maybe duo with? That's kind of, you know, the question there. Who would be a fun one to duo with?
I mean, I've done some duos with Ron Lee, who's of course.
Oh yeah, he's a neighborhood celebrity.
Yeah,
He's a local
yeah.
celebrity in our books, for sure.
I don't know if there are any like big celebs who regularly play Overwatch.
They don't have to play. It can just be anyone you would want to play with.
I mean, when I met Vin Diesel, he and I geeked out about World of Warcraft, so I know he's like a
Whoa.
big gamer geek. So he might be into Overwatch. He might be fun to.
That should be cool to play with him. Hear his
with.
voice. His voice is so iconic through the intercoms like that.
All right, guys, now we're gonna. Yeah, he's got the super baritone voice. Can't even
That was really
quite go
good.
there.
All right, let's move on because it's time to get to some crowd control. This is where we showcase some of the great or danky things that the community has been making. That's a new word now. Our first post comes from Imager, or however you want to pronounce that word, Gundarian, showing us that avoiding all distractions is key to mastering Street Fighter V. What is this? Oh my god. Okay, the focus. Avoid the cat! Avoid the cute cat!
Adorable.
Oh my god. Who has better macro, the cat or the cat? Like, both of
Then there's
them.
another like cat who is just having none of it, but that is a remarkable focus, ability to play two games at once, the cat game and the Street Fighter V.
That was so cute! Oh my god, the cute levels on that one.
I've only ever had a spider land on my hand while gaming, not a cat.
And how did
That's
you
a
deal with
moment,
that?
too, where
Did
you're
you like also eat legs? That would shake me. I would run out of the house.
It was, it was a moment, but you know, when you're focused, this must have been back playing like Battlefield 1942, so it was just like, get off my hand. You
Oh, that's intense. No, I'm out. I'm F right there. The moment spider's in my face,
yeah.
I'm out of there.
Kill it with fire. It's just it.
Yeah, anything.
All right, a good thing about classics like Doom is that they re-release on various consoles, like we mentioned, but I bet you didn't know that it was also available on this.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
No
Doom
way.
Etch-a-Sketch
Wait a
version.
second. Do you have to log in online?
It's one frame every 7 hours, but man, when you complete that
get
game,
through that,
sense of accomplishment
You'll
there.
be 100 years old.
You have to drive reframe yourself, but it's.
Wait a second. That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like fun.
I don't know, if you're an artist and you enjoy that sort of thing. Could you imagine if you did make that a stop motion short, like how long that would take? Even just to do 1 second of an animated short and an Etch-a-Sketch of the Doom game, it would just be bonkers.
Yo,
but amazing job.
For real. Major respect to that person.
Yeah.
Got a lot of
Congrats to
time.
the artist.
Killing it. All right, moving on. Our last post is from Imager. That word always trips me up. User, Imger, street walking cheetah who shares a life lesson they learned from a video game. Okay, just bought a save for valuables.
Luckily, Fallout has taught me exactly what I should put in it. And he's got a Coke in there, 1 bullet, and a little bit of money.
A little cash.
That's exactly
Little
what you'll
cash
find in
money.
most Fallout vaults.
Vaults?
Yeah.
I see. I've actually never played Fallout before. So
I
is
haven't
that
played
normal?
that much. That's pretty much, yeah.
That's what you do?
You know, you're hoping for something more than that, but for the most part, it's that and a couple of bottle caps. That would have been the.
But that's the currency, right?
yes,
So that
the
makes
results.
sense. Oh, that makes sense. This is a random story, but you know in hotels they always have those vaults. Do you ever use them? Because like you do?
Yeah, you store your valuables in there.
Wait a
so they don't get
second. You
stolen.
shouldn't be.
Why?
AJ just got his bike stolen recently, so I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about locking up valuables.
Well, yes. The
true
problem,
story.
the reason my bike got stolen is I forgot to lock it for the first time ever.
You should have put it in a vault.
Yeah, I'll just go install a giant vault for my bike on my front porch.
There you go, bright ideas. We got them here for you. But
Thanks for bringing that up to end the show.
Wait, it's true. That's it for Unmuted. Remember that you can always hit us up on our socials at Squad Stay just to say hi or send us stuff to react to. Until tomorrow, we'll see ya.
Three Houses is a series that has been renowned for its storytelling and character development. But despite the franchise hype, I have never played a Fire Emblem game until now. The first tough decision you'll have to make in-game is which house you'll play as, and choosing the House of Golden Deer is a no-brainer. Call me shallow, but if their leader, Claude's attractive face, doesn't persuade you, I don't know what will. Looks aside, Golden Deer is like the breakfast club of the three houses. It's composed of students that have diverse personalities that at first doesn't seem to complement each other. As a result, they appear to be the least likely to succeed, but it's their various backgrounds and story arcs that make you enjoy the grind of developing their skills to pass certification tests and further their class development. My homeboy Raphael is a reflection of that, although he's probably too focused on what meal he's gonna eat next rather than his lectures. With time, you realize that there's more to him than his muscle, and his tragic story fuels his optimism and your determination to make him a great knight. The thing is, to get the full story of any of the students, it takes time. That can be dreading at first, especially if you're new to the franchise. Don't get me wrong, the game keeps you well informed through cutscenes and dialogue, but it's the latter that's the issue. Sometimes there's too much dialogue that I would find myself absent-mindedly skipping forward, and it's like the devs knew I'd do this because they have a log button to review any parts of a conversation I miss. Regardless, I found myself enjoying every minute playing, and I had a hard time putting this game down once I started. I have the bags under my eyes to prove it. The character writing, progression system, and battle mechanics will keep you hooked. Fire Emblem Three Houses is one of my favorite RPGs and is must play. That's why it's getting a 4.5.
Well, Camille, I'm guessing you're a big fan of Fire Emblem now.
Yes, I am, and I'm a big fan of Lisa not touching me. Stop it!
Okay.
Fire Emblem, I'm a big fan of it because I'm a big fan of Claude, as you saw in that review. Like, he's just so gorgeous. Everyone in that game is gorgeous.
Everyone?
Everyone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like everyone's really gorgeous.
Why is Claude so dreamy for you?
Well, because he has that one braid that just comes down.
It's a braid.
Just a single braid. That's what makes
It's just
it.
the one braid. And then when he gets older, he has a nice beard.
Okay.
Okay, you guys are all like, don't you have a waifu? Matt,
No.
I know you have a waifu. Don't
Matt,
lie.
okay, yeah, don't even act like I'm crazy because you're like, I'm picking up Fire Emblem this weekend.
Yes.
And I'm gonna play Black Eagle
I haven't decided.
but what was the reason? What was the reason?
What was the reason, Matt? Say the reason, Matt.
It has
do not know.
Edelgard.
Well,
I do
look,
not know the reason.
My one friend said there's a lot of waifus on the Black Eagle. Okay? Therefore, it's a good choice.
So don't hate on me.
What's a waifu?
A waifu is just like a female video game character that you would want to
Be with.
wife
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Better.
I see.
I'm glad you said
Husbando
Yes.
is what Claude is to Camille.
Yeah, pretty much the male counterpart of waifu.
Okay.
So do you have a
So
waifu?
do you have one?
An in-game waifu? That you're allowed to say?
No,
I can't think of one off the top.
I
of my
feel like
head.
he's just judging us from the corner, thinking
Probably.
we're crazy for falling in love with video game
Oh,
characters.
wait. Does Gladys from Portal count?
Oh, okay, all right, okay. I'm gonna stop
Yes.
nerding out
Yes.
over Fire Emblem and stop listening to that weird choice for a waifu.
Don't judge.
I'm judging. But instead, let's play some Surgeon Simulator. Let's get into it. Matt, you have the controller closest to you.
You're a first victim.
Yeah.
I'm not the first. This guy's the first
Right.
victim.
I know, and we
You're
had
a
him
first
sitting there
surgeon.
for a while, so I feel like he's gonna get cold. So
Well,
Perform a double kidney transplant.
he's about to get a lot
This game is
colder.
so hard.
when he's
Twice
dead.
as hard as a single kidney.
Alright, so how do I actually take out kidneys?
so you gotta actually,
Take out the
like
intestine.
any surgeon, break the bones.
I could just grab it.
Yeah, why can't we just grab it?
No, you gotta break the bones. You're
I
weak.
tried to break the bones.
Do you
Alright,
see your
use the
arms?
hammer.
They're weak.
Hammer time.
Give me this hammer.
Just smash away at his ball.
That's a cup.
That's a cup. Cuphead.
How are you holding that cup like that, though?
I'm Spider-Man.
This game is, of course, available in VR as well.
Yes.
It is
Hammer.
ridiculous in VR.
Hammer, come here.
This
Are you-
looks
I
even
wonder
more
if it'd be
challenging
easier.
in a controller
I feel
setting.
like controller would be harder.
It's very hard
There we go.
on controller because you
Oh,
have
your
to
watch
Okay,
fell
the
off.
watch is done for
Time
some
is not
reason.
At
important
least it
here.
didn't fall into our patient.
use the pointy side.
Yo, you're trembling. Why are you so nervous?
I don't know. His first surgery. That's not a kidney.
You gotta
Well,
stop doing all the drugs, man. It's giving you the shakes.
There's actually drugs on the side that will stop the
You gotta
shake.
be way more violent than this. Stop
You're
being
the
so
most
timid.
gentle hammering.
He is so
Gonna
gentle.
gently tap away at his rib cage.
I feel bad for this guy. Like, what is his health
There we
plan?
go.
How did he end up at this hospital? That's
He
not
was
right.
kidnapped.
Well, this game
This
is
is
set
actually
in
black
America,
market.
so it's
Oh
just-
no.
Oh god. This is incredibly difficult.
Matt, do you have any idea what you're doing?
No.
Matt, you got to go in with force.
You know what though? I think
This
he's
is all
doing
the force
okay.
he can muster. It's not like.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice one.
Chipped away at it slowly.
You hit the blanket
more.
there.
What if you just lift it up higher
How's
and then
that
bring it
going?
down
That's
from a
pretty good.
greater
I think you
height?
can
There
pick
we
out
go.
everything. Yeah.
Okay, and now you gotta cut.
What am I cutting?
The
You
intestine.
gotta, yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta cut them
sever
out.
the
Jeez,
intestine
it's
from
like
the
hidden
body.
in there. All right.
So that artery at the top now, where you broke the bone, where your hand
Let me just
is.
get some of his bits out of here.
Yeah, you want to cut that artery.
Get some bits. I need to get all the way in there, right?
Yeah, you got to get in there.
Well, you know what that calls
Been at it for a minute and
cup.
57 seconds.
Another cup. How
This is
about
a
one
good
of these?
taste though. What is
If
this?
you could get
How about one of?
Just gotta close your fingers around it. It's not really that
You
challenging.
can't go any
of
further
thing.
off the screen.
No, Matt.
That's all.
Use
you
the
can, okay.
maybe use the
It's
pencil.
gone. It's gone. The pencil.
Yeah, just stab him.
What do
Oh
we
yeah,
got?
there's a lot of
This
options
is
on the
it.
side.
There's some knives right there.
Oh, I
a
feel
bone
like that's
saw. That's
really,
great.
That's really big for what you're trying to do here.
Well,
Now focus on the artery, just the artery.
it's the
How is that gonna get in that tight corridor?
Oh no, Matt. Oh gosh.
It's fine.
There's blood.
Well, there's gonna be blood.
There's a lot.
I think he's doing all right.
You gotta watch how much blood you're losing though. You cut the artery. I believe there's
he
one
actually
at
get
the
it?
bottom.
I don't think I got
Loss
anything.
rate
You didn't get
is
it?
losing 8
That was a piece of bone that you
milliliters
Oh.
a second here.
Don't worry. I'm gonna help him out.
Have you played this much before, Matt?
No.
Okay.
Does it show?
No, you're doing great.
AJ, are you a pro at Surgeon
Yeah,
Simulator?
you're talking big right now, right?
Needle
You know, in
time.
VR,
Ooh.
not too
There
bad.
you go. He's bleeding less.
Ah, in
stabbed him in the
VR.
brain.
Waking up.
Matt, you picked that up with a lot of precision and expertise.
Thank you.
Are you using the drill now?
You got him stabilized at his blood level.
Oh, God.
See, AJ knows his stuff.
Watches a lot of like ER. Grey's
Why
Anatomy.
are
No,
all
just
the good
surgery
tools, like,
videos on
edible?
YouTube.
Okay.
Oh.
Scalpel time.
Everyone
you-
does that.
Imagine if people were like a doctor was actually looking up on YouTube like how to do a kidney transplant, and then finds like our gameplay.
I'm not kidney transplant, but I bet there are a lot of like doctors out there who have never done, rare things that have like come into their, ERs.
Yeah,
going, like,
that's true.
Yeah, I remember reading about this back in med school like 20 years ago.
Oh, I think I
How do you
freed
do
him.
this again?
Yeah, it's
Google,
never.
Google. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's never good if you're sitting in a doctor's office and they're like, "No, let me Google it before we talk about the surgery."
Is it free?
Did you get it?
I don't know.
You got to move those bones.
How are the kidneys so
Come
high?
on.
Oh gosh, Matt, he's losing a lot of
Fine, I'll
blood.
just stub
No,
it in
no,
the
he's
needle.
got time. He's got time.
Declining again. You gotta keep
Isn't there
him
only
above.
one
Here
shot
comes
of
the
that?
needle, buddy. Oh, okay, there we go. He's good.
Needle
No.
to the face. I don't
Yo,
know
he
if that's
actually, Matt, you're really good at this
So
game.
I
are the
haven't made any
controls?
progress.
Explain the controls.
I really can't.
Okay.
You use the
What is your
R.
left joystick for?
This is moving like forward, backwards, and
With the hand.
sideways
Yeah.
And then
on two-dimensional plane. The left triggers are up and down,
I think he just
and then this stuff is rotatos.
Rotators.
rotator.
Okay, there's nothing in there.
Okay, yeah, you gotta cut the bottom too, though.
What do you mean?
There's a bottom
I don't
artery. You
see
see that
anything.
small intestine?
What if I just grab this again?
I don't
Yeah,
think
try-
you
try
can.
and grab
That
the other
actually.
kidney.
Ooh.
Oh, I see a kidney.
yeah,
yeah.
you see it, but you got it. See, you can't get it because you didn't
Is
cut.
that a kidney or liver?
I think the bone's blocking where the artery
oh, that could be
is.
his
Need to
liver.
get more bony?
Yeah, get the
Oh, I
bone.
got
Oh
it.
my god.
More like a liver.
I
Ew,
got some
ew,
goods.
ew, 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 ew.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Come here.
This is
You just gotta
weird.
The
find the
texture
right
on that makes me
angle,
uncomfortable.
and it should just come right up.
Oh! Isn't that the liver or kidney?
Well, it's something that I
It's
haven't.
stuck.
Ew! Ew! This smells so weird!
I think the kidney might be above that, and that is the liver.
That is the liver.
Well,
You got it.
It'll
The
make you so
kidney is
uncomfortable.
like,
Yeah, there's the two kidneys on
Underneath.
either side right there.
yeah.
Okay, well, this is gonna be difficult.
Yeah, you got to break more bone and you got to get the
Well,
intestines
look,
out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. All of my bone breaking tools are out of reach.
Yeah.
Well, just use what you got. Use that bottle.
Just, yeah, use that number 2.
Oh, ooh.
Maybe hit him with
Yeah,
that.
the holder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
I think it's the bone saw, boys.
Okay,
Yeah, just use it.
You just gotta pick it up the right way.
He's so delicate when he picks up his
I mean, if
tools.
I think
Guts.
in the other surgeons, like in VR, you had 2 hands.
Yes, you can. If we play,
Like they're behind the
Yeah.
intestines, probably.
you can
How do I
play
cut
with
out some
2
intestines? What if I
hands.
just give him a little
Oh.
Play
stab?
2-player,
Try.
and each
Oh.
player controls a hand. It's chaotic.
You're holding it
Interesting.
like a knife.
I am.
Oh, now there's some blood loss because
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
damage
The
to
wrong
the-
part you're cutting. You
lower
got to go
intestine.
lower.
Are you
Yeah.
sure? I don't think you people
Yeah,
are
you do.
anatomists or whatever the word
I've
is.
done this before.
What?
Not successfully, but I did do this.
You think I just grabbed this?
I don't think you could grab that. You got to move the
There's
bone.
still a bone in the way.
Oh my. This
Oh,
guy's got so many
no,
bones.
pretty exposed.
no.
Why does he have so many bones?
Matt,
Reach
you
in there
gotta
with
make.
like fingers first, like an underhanded scoop. You
You
know?
want to scoop?
Yeah, go scoop it out.
Okay, well, I'll get in there in a second.
Aim
Just
for the
get some
small
more.
intestines.
It's like an ice cream
first.
shop. Just scoop it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
What do you
backhand
mean? Oh, no, I
technique.
got all the bones out of there.
Also, do surgeons go in barehandedly?
Yeah.
No.
Do they work?
The good ones do.
This is a black market
Yeah,
hospital.
you can't have anything between you and your
He's
patient. You need to understand.
You gotta feel
You
how.
yeah.
You know what to do when he's bleeding.
Yes.
Oh no!
In the ear. That's the best spot to inject
Yeah.
drugs.
All right, AJ wants the underhand.
Yeah, there you go. See, you're going
Little
in.
nippy and
Just
tuck.
hold it.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Pretty sure those are the lungs.
Underhand.
Oh, that like that. Oh, I'm just feeling that right now. That's
No.
uncomfortable.
The liver one.
Feeling
Really,
it.
really
I don't
Oh,
think
that's
it.
close.
Does it want me to
Pretty
grab
sure
it?
that's the lungs.
No,
Yeah,
you
that's a
gotta
lung.
cut the bottom.
Oh wait. But where? Okay, whatever.
I think we need to take a lesson in biology and find out where the kidneys are.
I think all that matters is that we have a whatever that is, a liver.
Yes.
Oh, wrong
Your
surgeon.
kidneys are like lower, like over here.
I don't know. Chat, let us know where the kidneys are.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start stabbing. What do you guys think?
The Shrek.
The bottom, the bottom, the bottom.
Intestines.
You want to go there? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stomach's kind of up here, even though everyone's like, "Oh, my stomach." It's like, no, your stomach's really up here.
Yeah, your
And
stomach's-
then it goes into your intestines down here.
See, okay, yeah, you cut that side. You got to do the other side.
So I just grabbed the scalpel inside of it.
Oh no.
Scalpel.
That's where it belongs.
Oh, you
Oh,
got
okay,
it.
you
Yo,
got
you're
it
good at picking
somehow.
things up.
Yeah. Just
Oh, nicely done.
grip it on there. Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, oh no.
It's fine. She'll be okay.
Yo. Out of
Anyone
all
else
of
getting hungry watching this?
us, I didn't think of a barbecue. I don't know why. Maybe it's the liver.
Okay,
Maybe liver.
Screw it. I'm
Right.
pretty sure you can just tug it out from here.
Okay.
Give it a little tug.
Come on, buddy.
We had
Give me the
barbecue
goods.
last night.
Yeah.
Mystery meat.
Oh no.
This guy's
Quite literally,
intestines
there's a guy who
really
lives
in
down the street who gives us bags full of meat.
there. All right, hold on. I give up.
That's
What am I
so
actually supposed to do?
You
questionable.
shouldn't accept those
It
things from
is.
strangers.
Where's this kid?
But it was tasty.
His kidneys are underneath in
No,
the
no, no.
intestines. You
Where's the
got to
new
cut
ones?
the other side.
Oh, that's what they look like. Definitely
They
not.
look similar enough that
To the
they
liver?
probably have the same function.
The liver and the kidneys?
Yes.
Ah.
The liver is
Sage.
offended.
That was the combo, really.
Peach sage.
Yeah,
There we
Peach
go.
rosemary?
that's not it. No.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think that's not gonna work. You got to cut the other side.
Well, look, there's no time for that.
It's
There you
the
go.
Tyler
That's-
method. Just toss in the organs and see if it lands.
That's true. That's true.
It has worked for us before, so
And it's only taken you 9 minutes and 10 or so
don't look at
seconds.
that. Don't look at that side.
There.
There.
I say we throw back. We got to throw
Couple of
back the
kidney
liver
beans.
or the kidney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the liver's gotta go back in. 'cause it's a
It's all
kidney
good.
replacement.
You can go home now. Say hi to your family.
Can we throw back the blanket over him and just
It's
act like
gone, but
we've
this should-
Didn't
we
start?
didn't even start? Yeah.
Hold on, let me get rid of this.
What is that? Why is this? Is that a scissor?
This is so messed up. Just throw that on top.
That's what I was planning on.
You could be by
Come on, give me this.
Oh, it won't let you take
No?
that?
Okay.
Can you take the notepad?
What, you're gonna write a diary entry? Whoa,
No,
whoa,
we're
you're
gonna-
flipping us off for a second.
And just, yeah, cover him up.
Just put it down.
Forget his skin. You don't need to
Oh,
patch
he's
him up.
freaking out.
You got the trembles.
Ta-da!
You know what? After a heart surgery, I think he needs
Oh,
a
no.
I
good
think it's over. I think
face
it's over,
caress.
Matt.
You gotta,
Matt,
you
I
gotta
think it's-
caress his face. Ah.
I think that was a great attempt.
Pro surgeon.
That was
right
pretty
there.
good. That was
Matt,
pretty
thanks for
good.
getting us through that.
He was steady,
Yeah.
which was good.
He's not
Most
dead.
of yeah. Well, we don't know that for sure.
It's not really alive either.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
potato.
I don't know how long his body will function with, a clipboard in his
It's a notepad.
intestines.
It's a
Sorry, a notepad. Okay, that makes it all the better.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right, that's all we have. That's all the time we have for tonight. Anyways, thanks to MadMagical for talking to us. We will be back tomorrow with more Unmuted, and on Inside Esports, we'll be talking about the OWL stage for week 1.
222 live.
Super exciting.
Meanwhile, be sure to check out all of our socials at Squad Stage for more of us.
Us.
All of us.
Thanks for watching. See you in the future, folks. Bye.